What's up, YouTube friends? Now today's the 4th of July and it's a beautiful sunny day. So I decided that I was going to come out here and pick my garlic and onions. As you can see here, it's pretty much way past time. When the stalks start to get brown and fall over, it's time to harvest. Now this week is the first week in probably 2 months where it has not rained at least every other day. It makes it very hard to get down here in the garden to weed, and as you can see, I have grass everywhere. Not to mention my kale, my kohlrabi, even my Brussels sprouts were pretty much destroyed by caterpillars. I did spray one time, but since it kept raining so much, it really didn't help. So hopefully this week I'll get a chance to spray again. So all I'm going to do is go ahead in here and dig up my onions and garlic. Now I think this is going to be my last year that I plant garlic and onions. I never get them to get really big, especially the garlic. With the onions, even though they're small like this, I can go ahead and cut off the tips and use these. But for the garlic, when it's this small, it's kind of a pain in the neck to go and peel all these little cloves. So next year, I don't think I'm going to waste my time. I could have a full 4 by 8 foot bed for more tomatoes, pepper plants, zucchinis, something like that. Now after I'm done harvesting this bed, I'm just going to go ahead and lay my onions and my garlic in my garage over there by the pool. And I'm going to let them air dry and cure for about 2 weeks. Then I'm going to go ahead and till this up and plant some more beans. So here's my garlic and my onions all harvested. Now this size is probably the biggest size of onion I got. And that's the biggest size of garlic I got. Really not worth my time. Now like I said, I can use these onions. I'll probably go ahead and dehydrate them and make them into onion powder. But for the garlic, it's really not worth my time going and have to peel all those little cloves. So now I'm just going to let these sit here for about 2 weeks to cure. That way I can store these all winter long. So I just went ahead and spread these out. Ideally you do not want them touching. However, I'll be down here every day to get in the pool, so I can go ahead and stir these around, check for any mold or anything like that. So in the meantime, I'll give you a quick tour of how my garden's going. And as always, it's pretty weedy. So we'll start right here at the herb bed. And as you can see, it's doing pretty well. Well, at least the plants that I bought are doing well. I do have some dill coming up, but my cilantro, not looking so great. Now behind the herb bed is my weedy carrots. I'm pretty sure they're probably ready to pick, so maybe after I'm done harvesting the garlic and onions, I'll come and pick the carrots. Now comes my sad looking kale. Like I said, I have not had time to come down here and spray because of all the rain, and these caterpillars are destroying it. Now I can still go ahead and use this. I just like to wash it really well, and I dehydrate it and grind it up, and I'll just use it just like parsley flakes. Here's my green cabbage. It has a little bit of bug damage, but nowhere near as much as my kale and my Brussels sprouts. Here's some of those pepper plants that I got stuck with. They're doing pretty well. And here's my one lonely red cabbage. I did go ahead and plant some. There's a little one left right here, but the other 2 died. Here's my New Zealand spinach. It's actually a bit thicker than regular spinach. And I made a smoothie the other day with some of this, and it was delicious. Now back there is my wall of cucumbers. And I actually have a little one right here coming on. Can't wait to make some pickles. Now if you remember from my last garden video, this is where I had to replant my radishes, parsnips, turnips, and rutabagas. Now I forgot what was planted here, but 2 times now it never came up, so I think it's a bad batch of seeds. Over here I do have some things coming up, but it's not looking so hopeful. Now behind there is my eggplant, and they're probably a good 3 foot tall. And I always love the purple flowers on these eggplants. Now here's my kohlrabi, and it's pretty bug eaten. Now you do eat the root ball. I'm not so sure if you can eat these greens, so I'm not too worried about it. Now the rest of this bed is not looking so great. I have a few beets with a lot of weeds. I also have some broccoli and cauliflower. They're getting ate up by the bugs. But if you can see my Brussels sprouts, they are destroyed. Now some of these plants I have hope for, but some are just chewed down to the stems. Now right here on this side of the trellis was supposed to be the sweet dumpling squashes, and they never came up. I planted them 3 different times. But the blue Hubbard is going nuts. Now behind the squash is my bean bed. Now I actually have a whole bunch of beans in here, and some of them are probably getting a little too big. But like I said, it's been raining so much, it's been hard to get out here in the garden. Behind the bean bed is my asparagus, which I had to go and put some twine around here because they just flopped over. They did really well this year, so next year I'll be picking some asparagus. Now here's the tomatoes that a guy asked for and never came and got them. More tomatoes for me. Now in this sea of green are my peppers and my tomato plants. They're doing really, really well. My tomato plants are already over 6 foot tall. So what I'm probably gonna have to do is come back here, snip off the tops, just because I want them a little bushier and not so long that they flop over and choke out my peppers. And as you can see on all of my tomato plants, there's at least a handful of tomatoes on each one. Now here's my second pepper and tomato bed. And it's doing just as well, if not better. This Hungarian hot wax is just covered with peppers. Well guys, I hope you liked that video of my garden tour and how I harvest my garlic and onions. If you like this video, go down below and subscribe. Feel free to share this across your social medias. Head on over to Facebook for Scrappy's Patch and hit that friend button if you'd like to share garden and crafting ideas. I'd like to wish everybody a happy and safe 4th of July. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.